What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another stuffed chaffle recipe. This week we're starting with 2 eggs. I've got 1.3 cups of cheese here. We'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. I've got some black pepper, got some garlic powder, and we've also got some onion powder. That's 1/4 teaspoon of each. And then I've got some tuna here with mayonnaise, and that's this Chosen Foods mayonnaise. And then I've got some Swiss cheese. So we're going to make a tuna melt stuffed chaffle. So we've got our eggs beaten up here. Now this cheese, again, it's 1.3 cups. We're going to make a double batch of chaffle batter here. But this week I've decided to go with 1 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese plus 1/3 cup of shredded parmesan cheese, just to give it a little bit of added flavor into the chaffle mix. So a nice, quick, easy mix of these ingredients here. Just get them incorporated, and then we'll start adding our spices. So again, we have some black pepper, some garlic powder. Again, that's 1/4 teaspoon, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. And then we'll give that another quick mix just to incorporate everything. Now you can add whatever spices you want to this chaffle mix. Really, this is a great place to add different flavors. You know, if you want to add some dill, just off the top of my head, there's just a couple of different things. If you want to add some spices to it, some chili flake or whatever, you can add this in before we even start cooking, and it'll transition into the finished product quite well. So there's our chaffle mix ready to go. Now our stuffed chaffle maker has been warming up for about 5 minutes. So we're going to add about half of the chaffle batter into the bottom of the stuffler. Again, it doesn't have to be exact, but we want to make sure we leave enough to cover the top of our tuna melt. So we'll just spread that out on the bottom just to cover the entire surface. And I'm going to put down some Swiss cheese on the bottom. I found putting things like cheese down first makes it easier to put down a stuffing like this tuna into the waffle iron, because then it doesn't sink into the egg and cheese mixture. Now for this tuna mix, again, it's just a can of tuna with some Chosen Foods mayonnaise, a whole bunch of black pepper, and then actually some yellow mustard. Now this is another thing, make it the way you like. This is the way I like it. If you don't like that much mayonnaise, don't use as much. If you want more, then use more. This is just an example of how I make things. I want you to make them the way you like them. So as you can see, we put another layer of Swiss cheese on top of the tuna, and then we'll put the rest of our chaffle batter into the stuffler. Just trying to spread it out. Make sure you cover up all of your stuffing like that. And then just make sure to get all of the mix out of the bowl. And then once that's all loaded up, we will close up the stuffler, and this will cook for 8 minutes. And then once we open it up, you'll see that the stuffed chaffle is nice and golden brown. Came together quite well. Again, just like with regular chaffles, you're looking for the steam to slow down, and then you'll know that it's cooked. This one came out of the stuffler quite nice, which is always a good thing. So we'll get it on a wire rack to cool for a few minutes, because it's going to be really hot with that tuna and the cheese. As you can see, the outside turned out really nice. So we're going to cut into this just to mainly let some of the steam out and cool down a little bit before we try it. But just to give you a view of how this turned out. The cheese was nice and melted, and everything came together quite well. Okay, so here's a good view of the finished product. It smelled really good with that garlic and onion powder. And even though it was actually still too hot to try, we gave it a taste, and I'd say this was a real winner, so I would suggest giving it a try. Hit that thumbs up, consider subscribing, and stick around for another chaffle recipe, this time next week. Keep on thriving, my friends.